WPRA national race.
It's a super tight points battle this year.
For the national championship, everything's close with all classes. Pro Class 1's very close with all the teams. Super Cat is beyond close.
Big rivalry here, Grade L, so we're going to be going deck to deck to see who's going to come out on top.
It's Clearwater. I mean, anything can happen.
Golf's always rough and kick up. The only good thing about the golf is you can time it a little bit better. We were in Chicago and that was an absolute washing machine.
When you're talking racing against 16 or 18 other boats, there's not a spot on the course that has a good line. There's not a smooth section of water.
Yeah, we've been knocking at the door a little bit, but I feel like we're pretty close. We're right there. We're going to be looking to get on that top step of the podium.
This is where champions are crowned, and we're hoping we can be part of that process.
Here we'll do 0-30 tomorrow.
Last race of the year, guys. It's all down to this. Winner takes all.
The X Insurance Clearwater Nationals. From Clearwater, Florida, the final race of the World Powerboat Race Association Series. It's the X Insurance Clearwater Nationals. The boat's getting ready for 2 days of action here to wrap up the WPRA season. And then next up, the 44th Annual Key West World Championships. Looking overhead at Sand Key Beach Park, and it's a new dry pit area for this race. And we are broadcasting here live at Race World Offshore's Facebook page, as well as X Insurance Sports, Clearwater Nationals, both days. We got Pro Class 1 qualifying coming up today to start the action. And Eric, some bracketed class racing before the Pro Class 1 teams come out for one of 2 days of racing to wrap up the national points chase. And those points are tight.
Yeah, the points are tight, and there's going to be no whetting of any appetites here today. We're starting right off with the biggest, fastest boats in the sport, qualifying for the pole position for Pro Class 1. So especially on a course like this, that's going to be coveted for the guys who need to get a little edge in the points.
So today's schedule, we get off with Pro Class 1 racing at the 2:30 this afternoon, but first they've got to set the grid for inside position, lanes 1 through 5. So 1 o'clock qualifying for Pro Class 1, and then we follow that with bracket class racing, bracket class 200, 400, and 7. They'll all race today, and we'll have a break in the action for helicopter refueling before the Pro Class 1 teams come out for a 6-lap race at 2:30, and that will be our racing today here at the X Insurance Clearwater Nationals. So the weather right now is looking pretty good. Some of the teams have told us a little bumpier than they generally expected here in Clearwater. We had some showers that rolled through earlier, and we're watching that very closely here for you today from our broadcast position. We're right off of Pier 60. It's on the south end of this 5.2-mile course, and we'll keep you updated throughout the day on who's racing and where and where to go and where the different teams will be racing at the different times today as we look overhead at Clearwater Beach here on the Gulf of America. There's Pier 60. That is on the south end of the course. This is a 5.2-mile course, 5 laps. We expected just a little bit over 0.2 miles beyond that, racing between 30 and 60 miles between all the classes. Here are the different race classes and the top speeds of Race World Offshore, WPRA Racing. Pro Class 1 at 140 miles an hour. It leads all of these classes, Eric, all the way to the bracketed classes, who are a speed bracketed class, but you can see a majority of these boats catamarans and get up to pretty high speeds.
Yeah, most of them will be up over 100 miles an hour. I really think the conditions today are going to favor the Pro Class 1 boats and the Super Cats to see some very high speeds, and they'll be able to carry that speed through the corners. That's what the guys are really going to be looking for, is how they can come out of those corners and out accelerate the other boats, because on a flat course like this, you're not worried about, I got to watch out for the waves and the rough conditions. So it's who can pull the other one coming out of the turns that I think is going to make the difference.
Going down to look at the docks. You can see the boats being put in the water down at the Sand Key Park. It was a brilliant idea for them to move this, which brings the dry pits and the wet pits together. And just out to the west, you can see they'll go around the corner and they're going to be right on the race course. So we have Pro Class 1 qualifying to start here this afternoon before getting on to bracket class racing and wrapping up with the Pro Class 1 teams. As we look overhead at the historic Pier 60, you're looking back at our broadcast position on the beach, the beautiful endless white sand beaches of Clearwater here from the X Insurance Helicam. So we had some storms roll through here earlier, and right now let's go down to the wet pits. The third member of our broadcast team, Tristan Collins, will set the scene with the weather and how it's going to affect today's X Insurance Clearwater Nationals.
It's Tristan. I'm down here at the crane. Boats are launching. There's boats in the water. We're about to start doing some qualifying for Pro Class 1. Everyone down here has a lot of energy. The rain this morning kind of might have killed the vibe a little bit, but it's back. Everyone's excited to go racing. We can't wait to see them out there.
Tristan Garvin down at the wet pit. She'll have interviews throughout the day for us, throughout the weekend here, as we see boats getting put up on the crane, getting ready to be put in the water. So that weather system that we had come through, Eric, it was a series of, Florida thunderstorms rolled through, put a lot of rain through, changed the winds up a little bit. And we'll have to keep an eye on that. Right now, the radar is looking pretty clear at this moment.
Yeah, I think the worst has passed, and now we're just going to be looking to see if we're not going to get consistency, but this perdition boat could be a bit of a sleeper. But here's the Pothole Heroes boat, and
as you can see, the weather, they're expecting light winds, less than 10 miles an hour out of the northeast, wave heights at around 1 foot. Temperature right at about 83 degrees. Now, yesterday was a scorcher here. It was in the mid 90s, low 90s. The heat index was up to 105, very humid. But today's expected to be a cloudy day and not quite as hot out there. But we're going to have to watch for the potential of a thunderstorm that could pop up and bring on some winds. And that's kind of expected tomorrow afternoon, but later in the day. But if that schedule was to move up, it could throw a monkey wrench into the races later in the day, and of course teams are going to be watching that very closely. So you can see there's a lot of great things here to do in the Clearwater St. Pete area. Right here on Florida's west coast, escape to paradise on the Florida Gulf Coast. Visit stpeteclearwater.com. Looking back at the shoreline, beautiful beaches to watch the race, and the fans will be lining up here. This is the 16th year for the Clearwater Nationals. And, last year we got chased out of here due to the devastation of Hurricane Helena and Milton, and had the race canceled for the first time. So it's good to be back, and the beaches are looking great as we check on Allegra Motorsports Pothole Heroes. They're getting that boat set to shove off and head out for Pro Class 1 qualifying. You can see at the top of the screen, X Insurance North, J.J. Turk and Nick Buis, who had an outstanding run in Chicago. So qualifying, the boats come out, Eric, and they'll each get 2 laps. We get a chance to go out and warm up, and we already had testing this morning.
Well, they get basically 3/4 of a lap to get to speed. When they get to the start finish, they run 1 lap. That's when the timing starts. They come back, that finishes their lap, and then that's their time to try to get the pole.
So when they'll come around twice, second time they come around will be their official lap time. Race scoring will be sending us the times, and of course the fastest time recorded here between the 5 boats will give the highest qualifying speed, the inside lane. That's hugely important in all the different classes. These Pro Class 1s, canopy cats up to 50 feet. Majority of the boats are Victory hulls, but there's now Marine Technologies 438 Skater, GC Racing, as well as the Skater, the 438 that Monster Energy is racing here in Pro Class 1, powered by the twin Mercury engines, the QC4V 1100 horsepower turbocharged engine, so 2200 horsepower of power. The drives between the boats, they're either surface drives with runners or the number 6 Speedmasters. Tunnel tabs are allowed, but only the boats that run the number 6s can employ those tunnel tabs because of that big rudder on the back. And if you do use the tunnel tab, you have a 250-pound weight penalty. So you have to add 250 pounds to your boat. The surface drive and rudder boats weigh 11,800 pounds coming out of the water, and the number 6 boats with tunnel tabs will weigh 250 pounds more.
Now, we did just see the other day that Doug Wright Powerboats has partnered with Gary Stray to design Super Cats and Pro Class 1 boats for the future. So that could be interesting to see a guy with his long history between Miss Geico and all the Husky Chocolate and the various teams he's been part of to now get a blank sheet of paper to work with Doug Wright to come up with some boats for the sports premier classes.
And of course, Gary Stray currently working with Allegra Motorsports, the Pothole Heroes team, with Carlos de Quesada, who is the owner and driver of that team, with the renowned longtime throttle man up and down the classes, John Tomlinson.
Yeah, and Carlos himself is one of a lot of guys in offshore racing compete in other forms of motorsports. Carlos is a 2-time winner of the 24 Hours of Daytona. He's raced there with his son. He's raced over in Europe. So it's interesting to see guys who've been in these quote-unquote super sophisticated forms of motorsports still come and play in offshore as well.
Throughout today's live stream, we get great shots from the X Insurance Helicam, True X Homeowners Flood and Wind, all-in-one coverage, X Insurance. Now back to Pier 60, and they've got this back open for locals to come out and throw the line in the water, and fans actually able to go out and watch today's race. Again, a lot of restoration that went on in the last year, and they have done a fantastic job here in Clearwater. These are amazing beaches. They go on endlessly, just looking out into the Gulf. And you can see right there the start-finish line, which is just slightly to the north of Pier 60. So the finish line is towards the south end of the course.
A great vantage point for the fans on the pier to see the boats. If there's a close race to the end, they'll be able to see who gets the checkered flag. And I think we're going to see some good racing. It still looks pretty calm out there. With these conditions, most of the Pro Class 1 boats are 45 feet plus. So this will just be enough to free them up a little bit, let them run across the top. And as long as there's no crosswinds trying to blow their bow into the in or out, they should be seeing some good high numbers.
Just got to look at the 438 Skater of Monster Energy, MCon Racing, with the Mercury Racing number 6s. The advantage of running the number 6 is you get a deeper selection of propellers.
There's a look at the tunnel tab too, right below that big stainless steel bar. That's called a tie bar because it ties the drives together. And this is X Insurance, the 48-foot MTI.
The North Boat.
Yep. Used to run as Team Abu Dhabi. And it has the only combination of twin number 6s, but they're fixed and they still steer it with a rudder.
And this boat also with the tunnel tab and the number 6s. That's the 482. This is the longest boat out there running, and that's the Marine Technologies hull. And Willie Cabeza and Grant Bruggeman with Grant Signature Racing in Bradenton, Florida. They've had an amazing rookie year, and although they're veterans in the factory stock class, and of course Grant has been up and down the classes, including Super Cat. But this boat is shown very well early in the year.
Yeah, Willie Cabeza and Grant have done a lot of testing, and the thing is they're testing off the ocean in Florida. They're testing at Mercury's facility, Lake X. They've gone around to get Willie as much time in various sea conditions so he can get more comfortable. And he's had a sharp learning curve, as has J.J. Turk, the driver of the X-Insurance North, the 11 boat. 2 years ago, he was in an open cockpit boat in bracket 500 class, and now he's up in 140-mile-an-hour Pro Class 1 boat.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier with the new dry pits in Sand Key Resort, the boats are being dropped in the water. Now they're coming right out to the Gulf, and they're going to get down to the race course a lot sooner. Before they were down inside the inlet, and it'd take them 10, 12, 15 minutes to get out to the race course. So this is a big help for the teams. They get dropped in the water. They're right at the dry pits where the cranes are, and now they're just going to come out into the Gulf and then navigate just a little bit to the north to get to the race course. So we see our first two boats coming out, X-Insurance North, Pothole Heroes.
And the interesting thing there is there a jockeying for position going on to be the first one to run? Because they said at the drivers' meeting, whoever's first is going to be the first to go. There was no lanes drawn or numbers that they were going to. So for some reason, does Pothole Heroes want to be the first to go?
So this is the top end of speed in Race World Offshore's classes of boats. Again, these boats up to 50 feet in length. They're Victory hulls, marine technology hulls, and skater hulls. This Pothole Heroes boat is an older, smaller Victory hull. If you don't know Victory for decades has built these boats in the Pro Class 1 category. It's based in Dubai. They had a racing team that was renowned for winning world championships for many years, but they're also the manufacturer of boats. They build many of the super stock boats that race in the 32-foot category with twin 300 Mercury Racing outboard engines. So we see Carlos and Johnny in that Pothole Heroes boat, and again it deploys the rudder and the stern drives. Doesn't have the tunnel tab, so it will have to weigh 11,800 pounds when it comes out of the water. But these boats all of these boats in the catamaran classes, Eric, they're going to compress air down that tunnel. You have two sponsons, a tunnel between them, and the whole goal is to get that boat, compress air, and get as much of it out of the water as you can to get your speed up there. As we look at the X-Insurance South team, they are in the lead very closely over the Monster Energy team, 374 to 363 today, heading into the national championship race. But the key is speed, compressing air down those tunnels.
Yeah, and when you see the pictures, when we see the videos, hopefully we'll have some of the shots today where the boat is coming at the camera, and you're talking about a 47-foot boat, almost 12,000 pounds. Hardly any of it's in the water. It's just skimming across the top, and that's how they make their speed. It's getting as much wetted surface off the water, and they use steps in each hull, which literally step up from bow to stern, and it helps the boat pick up in the stern and get more boat out of the water and ride level when it does get rough, because you want it to fly level and maintain contact with the water to move forward. And let's see if X-Insurance might be our first boat to go, X-Insurance South.
It's a 47-foot Victory. It's got a couple of interesting steps on it. The steps are to aerate water, get bubbles in there, as Eric mentioned, to help rise it up and to glide across the water. The steps on this boat, very unique. This is a former Spirit of Qatar boat, and it's got jagged edges of it. If you look at any other stepped hull,
the trailing edge of the step, looks like someone took a bite out of it.
It does. Looks like shark's teeth. All other steps are very smooth in a straight line. But this one's a little different.
Yeah, we'll have to see. So far it's worked. I mean, it certainly worked at Michigan City and Chicago. The boat was fast and kind of has the target on its back now, but this boat has been right there to podium the number of times it's podiumed this year in its first year.
Good look into the engine compartments of the Monster Energy team. That's the QC4V Mercury quad cam 1100 turbocharged engines.
Jake Licklider is the crew chief for Monster Energy, and Tyler Miller. As we said before, GC Racing is the newest boat is 48 feet from MTI, which is also based in Missouri. Same engines as everybody else, the 1100 Mercuries with number 6 drives. And let's watch now as Monster Energy MCon shoves off.
And although Tyler Miller owns a very nice MTI, this is a 438 Skater built by Peter Ledden and Skater Marine out of Douglas, Michigan.
I would imagine his MTI is here as support. They usually have the team members out on the boat. And there we see Pothole Heroes again, Allegra Motorsports. I'm just wondering if we're missing an Angel helicopter right now. Is that why we might not be qualifying yet? I haven't seen.
Yeah, they're holding the boats on the south end of the course.
Pothole
here.
is up running. Okay.
They are?
Pothole Heroes.
Yeah, we just got word from Race Control that the Pothole Heroes is up and running. So they're going to get their test lap in. And these boats are all waiting to fall into line and get their qualifying laps underway. We are qualifying now for starting grid position for our race later on this afternoon. Look on board, the national points leader with Britt Lilly on the wheel and throttleman Bill Pyburn.
And here goes Pothole Heroes
heading out. But the X Insurance South team has been on quite a run over the last couple of races, Eric.
Yeah, and all those victory hulls you see were designed by Michael Peters of Michael Peters Yacht Design in Sarasota, Florida, for the better part of the early 2000s. If you wanted a winning race boat, you went to Michael Peters to design it for the bigger classes, and before that. So let's see if we can get a look at Allegra Motorsports Pothole Heroes.
Yeah, we see the boats moving into position now.
Yeah, GC Racing is second to go. So they're just, you can see them running, get up to speed.
They're just getting onto the course, but heading down to the area where they will begin their mill or begin their run. So this is on the back side of the course. So imagine the boats that we're seeing right now are just getting their practice run up. When we see them come around to the start finish line, they'll actually be starting their qualifying run.
Yeah, a little bit of bump out there, but they're also not up to speed yet. Grant's going to bring it up, let the engines build some temperature, and then when they need to go, they'll go.
Now these turbocharged engines, there's something called turbo lag. Tell us about that.
Well, with the computers, it's not as much of an issue as it used to be because they have a management system. But Pothole Heroes now is looks like they are up and rolling, but you can get lag. So what a lot of the throttlemen tell me is the thing they watch the most is the boost. You got to keep the boost up, and the boost is in a turbocharger. It's what is pushing those high temperature exhaust fumes back through the system to make the big horsepower.
So Pothole Heroes looks like they're off on their initial, they're into their qualifying lap here. So we're up and running, Pro Class 1 qualifying for pole position. 5 boats racing here in Clearwater for the final race of the RWO season. This is the southbound turn. There are 3 pen turns. They're very tight.
Went pretty wide there too. If they're trying to maybe hold speed up to run a longer course, depends on their setup.
We get a look back at our second qualifier. This will be GC Racing.
Dude,
Grant Bruggeman from Grant Signature Rigging, and Willie Cabeza from Pinecrest, Florida. 482 MTI.
There's a little bit of a swell there.
Yeah.
They're having trouble.
Has been released because they're doing them pretty quick intervals.
So I know X Insurance North was coming out with Pothole Heroes. They may be the next, but here is Carlos de Quesada and Johnny Tomlinson in the boat prepared by Gary Stray, Pothole Heroes. Victory hull, a rudder boat.
Very unique deck lines to the boat. It's the only one that looks like that.
This boat, Johnny said, was fast in Abu Dhabi. It didn't race a lot. It was available to them. They definitely were looking to move to a new boat after the 2024 campaign.
Yeah, that boat they had was a big boat. It was the biggest Victory out there, and I think they thought that this one would be more competitive, just size-wise as much as everything else, with everyone running the same spec engines. So it'll be interesting to see what they establish and where it puts them.
Yeah, you can see on that in the southbound leg that it's a little bouncy there.
Yeah, it's a little sporty back by the what's going to be the start line where those green buoys are on the course. That's where the pole position, I mean, that's where the Pro Class 1 boats will start their races later today and tomorrow. But he should be coming up to take the checkered flag, and we'll hopefully have a time on them shortly. The boat looks good there. Johnny's going to obviously run it as hard as he can because they want that pole position.
You want that boat to stick to the water. You don't want to see it hopping out of the water and into the air like that. You're scrubbing speed every time you get that.
And this is the third boat, like you said, which just got me thinking maybe X Insurance South is deliberately waiting to go last to see what they have to put down.
Well, we haven't seen Monster Energy out either.
Right.
They're in the top. Both of those guys want to see what everyone else does before they come out. And X Insurance North, Buis and Turk coming around on their practice lap. They'll be coming up to speed, making their run.
Also going pretty wide. But that just could be to get the momentum up and get the engines spooled up.
We're waiting for the official scoring to come in with the qualifying laps. It appeared that GC was a little quicker on that run. As we look at X Insurance North now from the X Insurance Helicam.
It's got a good ride there. Nick Buis.
Again, a little tip
Not much
in.
boat in the water, I'll tell you that much. He's airing it out.
Want to keep the back of that boat stuck to the water. And they're off and out on their qualifying lap. This boat has come on as well last couple of races. They had their best showing of the season in Chicago.
Yep. Yeah, I think they ended up on the podium, right?
They did.
Yeah, in third place. So
after blowing a transmission, I believe. Two transmissions.
One before qualifying, one right after. And they had spares in the truck, and the crew chief is on that boat is Gene Grieber, and they worked through the evening to get that ready to go for Sunday, and it paid off for them. I would not be surprised to see them in the lead spot before the final two boats come out. Boat looks good. Even when it does fly the nose a little bit, it comes right back down. So the balance is set pretty well by the team and the way the weight's placed. Because you're going to place the weight differently for qualifying than you would for a 6-lap race.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to have qualifying before, a couple hours before. It gives teams the time to come back and get the boat set for a longer race. They've got this boat set up for, a qualifying lap.
Yeah.
So they've got the right amount.
Now X Insurance South is, your points leader is starting its lap.
X Insurance North is just finishing up their qualifying run.
Bill Pyburn, the throttleman for X Insurance South, will not be making the trip to see his son Jack play for LSU tonight. He was pretty tired in Chicago after trying to make that run, so he he said he knew it was important to be ready to go tomorrow and this afternoon, so he'll have to watch it from his trailer and cheer Jack on from afar.
There we see X Insurance North, and they're coming down to finish up that qualifying run. Right now, unofficially, it looks like GC Racing has the fastest time over Pothole Heroes. Here they are finishing up. Nick Buis, Jay Turk, X Insurance North.
So it still looks like unofficially GC Racing still the fastest right now. Let's see what X South can do, and then that means Monster Energy will be your final boat on the course, setting up a little drama between the two points leaders.
Yeah, unofficially, JW Powell, who's checking the boats as they come by. Looks like X Insurance North settled in second fastest time of the day. As soon as we get official results, we'll post them on screen for you. There goes X Insurance South. There is your national points leader by just 11 points over Monster Energy. Britt Lilly and Bill Piver just finishing up, and they just finished up their qualifying lap. Looks like they may have fallen into the second grid position. But stand by, we'll get official results out to you here momentarily as the Monster Energy MCOD Racing Team out of Athena, Kansas. Myrick Coyle, the wheelman, out of Performance Boat Center, and throttleman Tyler Miller with the Skater.
It's actually a 43-footer, and they're building a new one. So they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
They opened that, when that boat hit the water, it was a surface drive rudder boat. And from his World Championship racing days in Super Cat, he and Myrick were much more accustomed to running the number 6s. And after year one, they took that boat back to Skater and had Peter Ledden and crew cut the transom off that boat and change it to a stern drive boat.
Which is no small feat. I mean, I think people don't understand the structural changes that need to be made to that boat just to pull that off. And the boat looks good now. You can tell they're more comfortable in it. Tyler's just used to it, and he's the throttleman most of the time in these owner-driver, the owner situations. The owner's the driver, the hired gun is the throttleman. But this is the other way around, because Tyler is preferred to run his own motors, and he's certainly no slouch at it. Three world championships, national championships in Super Cat.
Yeah, this boat was the U.S. world champion in the national races that they ran last year. They accumulated the points and had the overall world championship in this class.
Nice turn there. And the benefit that he has is, as the throttleman, he's got a mechanic in the driver's seat. So Myrick can feel things that many other drivers can't feel.
So from race control, we've got GC Racing with with the fastest lap at 2:33.21. X Insurance South 2 minutes 34 seconds 65. X Insurance North at 2:35.14 in lane 3, and Pothole Heroes right now in lane 4 at 2:36.78. And here comes Monster Energy. They're going to try and eclipse the time of the two boats potentially in front of them, or in contention with them at the national points. Let's see where they finish up. They're into the qualifying lap. Coyle and Miller, Monster Energy, Pro Class 1 Racing. officially, we have them a few seconds off the pace at this point. We'll see what the official race scoring comes up with. When we come back, we'll recap the official results from Race World Offshore scoring and talk about what's coming up. We have bracketed class racing and a whole lot more all weekend. Double-digit classes are here. 44 boats on hand for the X Insurance Clearwater Nationals. And you're watching the live stream here with Race World Offshore, brought to you by Maximum Inflation Tire Inflation Kits. We're back with more.
Your machine got you here, and the Maximus Quick Tire Inflation Kit will get you home. This compact tire filling kit comes with over 200 grams of CO2 for filling your motorcycle, side-by-side, and ATV tires. No batteries, no disappointment. The only US-made CO2 valve.
To me, being a mountain guide is just the greatest opportunity to share my passion for skiing and climbing with people who are new to it. My main goal out there is to take care of and shepherd other people through the mountains, make sure that they don't get hurt, they don't get into trouble, guide them to places they always wanted to go but needed the skill set and knowledge of a guide to help them in accomplishing that goal. And then come back safe. No 2 days are ever the same in the mountains. Everything changes, the weather, the avalanche hazards. Not everything is really perfectly safeguarded. The mountains are an uncertain place. So it's a fine line, but I think when you can trust somebody and you do push them to a higher level, it's really rewarding. Ultimately, it's not a question of if any accident's ever going to happen if you're doing a lot of mountain guiding, but it's when. The knowledge that we have a really strong partner in our insurance company is essential. I'm helping my clients achieve great things in the mountains, achieve their goals in the mountains, and that's what X Insurance does for me. They were there for us when we needed them. They're providing an opportunity for us to go out and guide mountain climbing and backcountry skiing in the beautiful Wasatch Range, and that's something that I wouldn't feel comfortable at all doing without a great insurance company behind us. I know that I can trust them and I can go forward with confidence.
Back from the X Insurance Clearwater Nationals, wrapping up the World Powerboat Race Association season, which started in Lake of the Ozarks with the professional Race Offshore, then on to Race World Offshore's events in Michigan City, Indiana, Chicago, and now here to Clearwater before we wrap up the season with the 44th annual Key West World Championships the first week of November. Full schedule events at raceworldoffshore.com. This is the Porte Products Broadcast Center. Porte Products builds the ultimate outboard transom lift system, boasting horsepower capacities up to 1,000 horsepower per engine and carrying up to 1,500 pounds of weight per engine. Let us build one for you at porteproducts.com. Looking out on the course as our bracketed teams head out. I see Team Woody there, and bracketed class racing, it's completely different than your national classes. This gives the opportunity for teams in boats of varying capabilities, maybe bigger engines, but they have to race in a specific class, Eric, where they have a bracketed speed. They're GPS monitored, and you have to stay within that speed limit when you're out there and racing. It's a lot different because your throttle man, who's normally controlling the propulsion of the boat, and he's also got to watch a GPS and keep that boat within the speed limit.
And they just announced a rule reversion, I guess you'd call it, this morning at the drivers' meeting. They were trying a zero tolerance policy for exceeding that speed limit earlier this year, and they've gone back to basically what is, if you're out for 3 seconds, whoever breaks out the least number of times. So the idea is not to break out past that speed at all. This is OC Racing, Joey Oliveri, Billy Glick in Class 200, and
these boats
I think
move.
they're the only team that has been at every race this year, regardless of class.
Yeah, but so Class 200 boats are 30 to 40 foot V-bottoms, canopied or non, and they can have single or twin inboard, outboard, or outboard engines, but their bracketed speed's 95 miles an hour. So the OC Racing team will be racing with a very a canopy boat, the Team Woody.
Yeah, the OC Racing boat is almost partial canopied. It looks like it just has an opening in the top, but it's a much bigger boat. It's a 39 Phantom, a lot more running surface, wider boat. The 35 Fountain is a jackrabbit compared to that boat in terms of it's 35 feet long, but it's probably 32, high 20s for actual running surface because of the famous fountain beak and the swim platform. So we'll just have to see who the water favors between the two.
So our bracketed boats are heading out, and we're going to run down the bracketed classes for you here in a moment, but let's get back to Pro Class 1 qualifying. Pole position goes to GC Racing, the Marine Technology Hull, with Willie Cabeza and Grant Bruggeman turned the 5.2 mile lap in 2 minutes 33:21. X Insurance South will have lane 2. X Insurance South, Britt Lilly, Bill Pyburn, 2:34:65. X Insurance North in lane 3, 2:35:14. Lane 4, 22 Pothole Heroes, Carlos De Quesada, Johnny Tomlinson, 2:36:78. And in 5th on the grid, number 6 Monster Energy, My Recoil, Tyler Miller, 2:39:33.
I should know this, but do they get points for the qualifying?
No.
Okay.
No points for qualifying, just in the finish. We look on board with the X Insurance Helicam, as X Insurance provides our incredible aerial coverage, and there you see our bracketed boats up and down the classes. We have bracket class 200, as we mentioned earlier, bracket class 400, 27 to 35 foot V-bottoms, canopied or not, 85 mile an hour bracketed speed with inboard outboards allowed. And then bracket class 700, these boats are lightweight V-bottoms that are open, that are racing here today, single outboard, only 20 to 21 feet in length, and their bracketed speed is 60 miles an hour. Let's take a look at the racing grid in bracket class here today, Eric.
Okay, we already went over the boats that are in bracket 200. In bracket 400, we have 404 Simmons Racing with Jake Coons driving and Jason Solecki from Lake of the Ozarks on the throttles. Miss Stress is a canopied 30-foot Phantom. Jimmy Wessel from Fort Myers is on the wheel. Bruce Dudley is throttling. X Insurance Hartman, John Izzetti from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Your driver, Jerry Hartman, is throttling. They had a little bit of a navigational error, shall we say, in Chicago. They won't repeat that, I'm sure. Fuel One team is going to run, it's a 29-foot Warlock, but it's going to run 2 bracket races this weekend. Damon Murata Jr. and Sr. are running the boat. 443 drinknaughty.com is framed as most people know it. John Jenick Jr., Michael Flamia, both from Key West. And the boys from Boston, the 34 Phantom Perdition, John Thornton and Brian Williamson with Saris Racing Engines pushing the boats. In bracket 700, we've got 7 entries, and that's a pretty good lineup because originally we had 1. 714 Shocker, Raymond Evans and Chris Colson in a 21 Superboat. Red Rum is a 22 Progression with Anthony Cruz and Robert Barneski. 742 Safe Cash, Marianne Stallcup, Scott Jobin in a 21 Superboat. Proven Marine, another super boat with Greg Bludder and Greg Chittenden. Dirt Legal Velocity is a 22 Velocity. Brad Christopher and Connor Langheim. Piston Broke, Jeff Pritchard, Scotty Young, a 22 Activator. And Blind River Bar, Clearwater Cartel is Dustin Clearwater. And Owen Buis is throttling in the 22-foot Activator.
All right, so I gotta jump in here. The framed offshore guys from Key West, the reigning world champions in Class 400 in the old LSB powerboat. It's of course a 29 Extreme that Britt Lilly drove. They have the new sponsor. They have Drink Naughty Rum. I'm not sure that those guys need a rum sponsor.
Well,
they're from Key West. They're a couple of pirates, Michael Flamia and John Jennick Jr.
One of the most entertaining teams in the class when it comes to the award banquets. So
we love them. They love them. They're a couple of those guys that caught the bug living down in Key West. So we look at the X Insurance. That's your Class 700. We told you they're open cockpit, 22 foot, very lightweight boats with the 300 horsepower, Blind River Bar. There they are.
A Mazda Miatas of offshore racing.
The Mazda Miatas. That's very good. And these guys, if it gets bumpy, they will get air.
Well, Owen Buis throttled this boat to world and national championships when it was X Insurance TFR, not TFR, it was X Insurance Statement. And he is back in the boat with Dustin Fluot giving him some pointers for the future.
So the Blind River Bar out in the bayou and the swamp, I think they're watching today's race, and I want to say hey to them. The
gang at the cartel.
The gang at the cartel. They are a fun group to sit down and have a chat with, and glad to have them here in Clearwater. Looking forward to them joining us in Key West, of course.
Actually, looks like it's clearing up a little. I don't want to. Maybe I should knock on my head here after saying it, but the weather is cooperating, and now the boats are coming off Plain and Mill. There's going to be 2 starts. We're going to have the faster boats and bracket 200 on the inside, and then the boats they drew for lanes. And in bracket 400, your inside boat is, excuse me, just let me get to that. Lane 1 is framed Drink Naughty. Lane 2 is X Insurance Hartman. Lane 3 is Simmons. Lane 4 is Miss Stress. Lane 5 is Perdition, and lane 6 is Fuel One Team, the Murata Boys.
So these boats will mill. If you're new to offshore racing, typically boats come into a mill and get pulled up by the pace boat and get lined up to start. We'll have 2 starts here. In bracket class 200, you can see their maximum speed limit, 95. They got the V boxes, most of them. They got to turn those chips in, Eric, at the end of the race, and they get monitored by tech control.
Can't touch anything.
Can't touch anything.
You bring it right back to the crane. You got to take it off the boat, give it right to the officials. The interesting thing is you could even run inboards or outboards in the class. So if you have a favorite, it's a way for you to take a boat you maybe already have and say, okay, I can go that fast and go race it. Instead of building a purpose-built boat, you can still build one of these boats and then still use it as a pleasure boat on the weekends you don't race if you really want to have some fun.
Yeah, I think that 3-second rule is going to be a big thing for all of these boats. It's been a mad dash to the award ceremony after these boats come in and they download the data, and you start finding 4, out of 8 boats, 4 or 5 broke out at some point. And
this boat on the screen, didn't mean to cut you off, but that is the old Jackhammer boat, the 22 Activator that Connor Langheim ran last year. So let's see if, because Connor is now throttling the Dirt Legal Velocity Factory boat, so will Owen Buis and Connor Langheim renew their rivalry from 700 from 2 years ago, with Owen being in the Blind River boat.
And that's a boat that we saw Julia Maldonado cut his teeth in, win a world championship in Key West. The Manatee Marine boat, and now running as a piston broke. Julia Maldonado will be doing triple duty tomorrow in factory stock, in Cat 300, and in super stock.
Yeah, the Maldonados seem to have some family difficulties keeping their legs intact. Julian hurt his leg in Key West last year. Ricardo hurt his, so Julian's stepping up and taking all three. And I believe his son Maverick is coming up on a year old, so good looking little kid. We like to wish them. But bracket 400, canopied or open cockpit boats, 27 to 30 feet long, single, stern drive or outboard. Max speed limit 95 miles an hour.
It's 85.
Oh, it's 85.
Yeah, it's 85.
Yeah.
That's our, and the GPS monitor for breakouts.
Yeah, 95 would be pretty fast in a 30-foot canopied Phantom.
95's for bracket class 200.
Yep.
We got a good showing of bracket class 400 boats here.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is let's say you're new and you maybe want to step up to Mod V in a year or two. Get your feet wet doing this first. So now we got orange smoke. Orange smoke means that the pace boat is going to put up the yellow flag and get the boats lined up for the start. The start is considered a fair start when the official on the pace boat determines that no one has an advantage based on their position in the lineup, and then they'll throw the green flag. So let's see if this gray center console in the middle of this group starts getting up on plane, which we should see. Yep, he's starting to move. And now they'll, yeah, because out of the two in bracket 200, Team Woody has the inside and OC Racing is in lane 2. So let's see if these guys get them lined up.
Them lined up for two starts here, Eric. Class 200 and 400 are going to get up and start together. And then the second pace boat will gather up the class 700 boats for a second start. We're going to have 15 boats out on the course at the same time.
Actually, rather than the Mazda Miatas of the, they're more like the side-by-sides that race in like the off-road races out in the desert.
Yes.
Those the Polaris racers and things like that. That's what the 700 class boats are like.
You have a wide range of you have youngsters. You have more veteran racers that race these boats. I mean, Owen Buis is in this boat. His dad Nick raced with him.
Yep, was kind of Nick's resurgence getting back into the sport.
And Nick's partner JJ Buis also cut his teeth in these classes. And these boats are up on plane and getting ready to start. Class 200 and 400 boats are out. They'll be running 9 laps today on this 5-mile course.
So let's see if we're still waiting. Oh, looks like, yeah, OC Racing's taken off. There must be a green flag just off the screen. And we'll just have to see the how the 400 race.
So now, your faster boats are on the left side of the screen. Team Woody on the far left side of the screen. That's OC Racing edging forward.
That's Billy Glick on the throttles, who is a veteran competitor from Sarasota. Joey Oliveri is the driver. He owns the boat, also from Sarasota. And they will run this basically 3/4 of a lap. And when they pass the start boat, that'll be the start of lap 1. So this does not count as a full lap. Confirmed that with race director Roderick Cox this morning.
You'll see the yellow buoy coming into the screen, which will be the official start-finish line.
But these bracket classes have kind of been a resurgence for Phantom boats out of Sarasota, Florida. And here's an extreme in 400. And look at this start for 700. It's exactly how it should look.
It won't. I'll tell you what. These boats are going to come in like a swarm of bees when they get started, and they won't thin out a whole bunch.
No, and if they do, if one gets an advantage and just pulls away from the other ones in a straightaway, that's probably a likely breakout. They're going to make up most of their time in turns. Whoever can turn the boat the most efficiently is usually where they make up the time. But OC Racing is out to an early lead in bracket 200.
Looking on top with the X-Insurance Helicam, Joey Oliveri and Billy Glick out of Sarasota, Florida in OC Racing.
Another boat I'd like to see some Super V engines in it. So here's your bracket 700 boats. Trying to see who might be out in the lead, but
although OC Racing was leading, it looked like Team Woody had gotten off to a slow start, but it was gone through the turn here on the south end a little quicker. So we'll keep an eye on that.
I'm thinking Piston Broke is out front, and that looks like Velocity Dirt Legal on the inside. This may be Proven Marine in third with Blind River right next to him. So this is a good battle right now in 700.
Definitely Piston Broke appears just to have a nose.
Yep.
But this is going to be a 7-lap race.
This is a battle of the boats built on Long Island. You got 2 activators and a super boat. And now here comes Shocker, another super boat.
Good shot from Pier 60. Watch those boats cruise by now, heading into the 3-pen turn.
Yep.
1A, B, and C on the south end of this beach course. Long oval.
Paper clip.
Yeah, big old paper clip. Very custom to,
Whoa.
on the side almost.
That was Red Rum trying to make an inside move there. Another progression from Long Island.
Got out of shape. It's very easy to do. So now with as many
still
boats as you
holding
have,
position.
right back on it. But as is prone to have when you have 15 boats out there, you get this wash tub effect where the wakes of all the boats start coming across and affecting the boats on the other end of the course. Back on top with who appears to be our leader overall, OC Racing. Now following the boats through the north turn, 3-pin turn on the very far side of this course.
This is Team Woody, the very popular boat out of Texas, but they're not running the way they want, I don't think.
No, I agree. Not at all.
And Perdition has made a couple of appearances this year. This is the 29 Warlock with the Carolina Racing engine, Damon Murata Jr. and Sr. Fuel 1 team. They're going to run again tomorrow in another bracketed class, which you have the option to do if you can keep it together. This is a Hartman X Insurance.
They had looked to.
It looks like they're slowing.
Yeah, they had looked to go around Team Woody, and now they're back up. Something, a little hiccup there, and now they're back up and running. They just came across the start-finish line.
Yeah, that was weird.
So they were in the lead, but they had some sort of an issue. Following the boats now, here on the shoreside leg, you see the long beaches of Clearwater here. And looking back now at our bracket class 200 boats, as they're going to come down the southbound stretch. See how they're sorting out here. The inside of the course, coming around that last pin.
I think this is for the lead in 700.
Oh yes, 100%.
Yeah, that's Piston Broke and Velocity Dirt Legal in second, but Piston Broke is using that inside lane. Oh, Dirt Legal came off lane. I wonder if
they're looking, hovering down on the dash and now getting back on the power. Wonder if they knocked the kill switch out.
Or yeah, could have been any number of things. So I mean, I had Piston Broken first, but now I'm not sure who'd
they
be
could be
second.
having a Guardian issue. They're back off of power again.
And Guardian is something in a Mercury Racing engine that's basically it's a management system that's installed to keep it from blowing up. You get too high pressure, it's going to shut it down, or too low pressure, it's going to shut it down. Too high temperature, it's going to reduce it. So it just limits the RPM so you can't destroy the engine. And this is Simmons Marine. long-time winning race boat from the old Factory 2 days. Still has a pair of Mercury 500s in it. Jacob Coons is Jim Simmons' stepson. And they're battling with Framed, the Drink Naughty Rum. And Framed is using its, I guess, agility advantage in the turns to try to pull away and hold that tighter inside line.
And again, if you're new to racing, you don't want to draft behind a boat. You don't want to get in the wake of a boat. You want to stay out of the churn. That is aerated water, and you get prop slip. You can also have your hull sliding.
The propeller doesn't grip as well in aerated water as it does in solid water.
Look overhead of John Jennick Jr. and Michael Flamia from Key West, Florida, the Framed Offshore team. Drink Naughty Rum. DrinkNaughtyRum.com. They're your reigning bracket class 400 world champions. Back to our overall leader in OC Racing. They're having a nice run. Team Woody having a little bit of an issue. We saw them coming around at the end of lap number 1. We'll keep an eye on that. A long-time offshore powerboat racer, raced at the highest level in the extreme V-bottom classes as well. You look back at Team Framed, DrinkNaughty.com rum.
And they're leading, correct?
Best I can tell.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, with Simmons in second. Yep, they're right there.
That appears to be the 1-2 punch there. See still some potential cloudiness on the horizon, although that's to the south. Looking on radar right now, not seeing any major systems in the area. Again, we're in the 80-degree range here today. Yesterday was a blisterer. We have a little bit more cloud cover, not so much wind. The typical day here in Clearwater, not quite as sunshiny as they're expecting tomorrow.
And here we have Piston Broke leading bracket 700. Looks like Blind River is to the left of the screen just aft. Red Rum after that oop-de-doo in the turn. And Proven Marine are all right there. But it's Piston Broke holding a slight advantage as they come into the north turn. Or is that the south turn? That's the south turn.
That's the
south turn. The other end of the course from the pier.
Coming in at the conclusion of their second lap.
Yep. So they've got 5 more to go on this 5-mile course. Just about everyone's running the Mercury 300R. Some of the boats still have the 300 XS, but not many.
Good shot from
the Red Rum does. You can see the Red Rum has the older cowling, the
Blind River Bar in the mix as well with Dustin Cluett from St. Armand.
Oh, they almost they took a nasty hop in Blind River Bar trying to hold that inside lane. I think they clacked helmets.
Owen Buis in the cockpit with his old World Championship boat that he ran with X Insurance last year. The bracket class 700 again overhead with the X Insurance Helicam. True X Homeowners Flood and Wind all in one coverage. X Insurance.
And that may have opened up the chance for Anthony Cruz has had a good season this year at Red Rum. He's had checkered flags and podium finishes in quite a few races in that progression hull. So he's trying to make a run right now on Piston Broke. But we'll want to get them scored officially when they come by start finish if we can. Just to try to keep track of everything for you. I was going to say that's someone that just broke out, but that was Framed going by in bracket 400.
So Simmons.
Yeah, bracket Framed went by and so did Simmons, and what you're supposed to do, and if you're the overtaking faster boats, you're supposed to be on the outside of the course and offshore because there's multiple classes running at different speed limits. It's kind of like sports car racing.
So there's Simmons coming up in second in bracket class 400, and your drinknaughtyrum.com team Frame unofficially continues to hold the lead. Try and sort this swarm of bracket 700 boats. Miss Stress is in third, and Team Hartman X Insurance running in fourth.
Yep.
In bracket class 400.
So it'll probably put Perdition in fifth, and we'll have to see where Fuel 1 is. Looks like Woody's back up.
Yeah, let's see if we can sort these 700 boats out.
Piston Broke, Red Rum in second, Blind River in third, Proven Marine in fourth, I have not seen Safe Cash X Insurance, and that's Marianne Stahlkopf, I think, is making her debut on the wheel in that velocity. But
well, we just have two boats collide.
Yep, Blind River just ran into Red Rum trying to hold on inside, and now Red Rum missed the buoy because of it.
Red Rum's they've got to come back around and get that buoy. I hope there's no damage to that boat.
It looked like maybe the cowling took a hit more than anything else on the outboard, but well, let's see if we can take a look at the replay and see what happened here. It looks like
a little out of shape
what happens here. Yeah, Blind River gets out of shape.
Cut inside.
Red Rum moved out a little bit, but then Blind River's trying to make the inside move, and oh man, that driver's lucky in the Red Rum boat, because he took that hit on his helmet. I hope he's okay.
Well, and then they not only they get hit, but now they got to go back around and pick up the buoy.
Wow, he's lucky.
See if both those boats continue on running.
Yeah.
It's like disaster was averted there.
Could have been much worse, so we just hope everyone's okay. But Red Rum is still trying to run, believe it. He must have known enough to duck. I just saw off camera, it looked like Miss Stress was out alongside a patrol boat in bracket 400.
About 2 laps in of 7 for 700, 2 laps in of 9 for class 200 and 400. As we look at Team Hartman, X Insurance, John Exetti and Jeremy Hartman of Doylestown, Pennsylvania, and the Phantom.
Perdition's coming right behind him in the 34 Phantom.
This Phantom's got Chevy power. You look overhead of Team Woody out of Texas, the 35 Fountain.
Texas state flag on the top of the canopy is a very cool paint job. It looks, as you can see, he's dumping some ballast there. Chad Woody throttling, Billy Shipley driving.
Live coverage of the Clearwater X Insurance Nationals, brought to you with Race World Offshore by Leland Gas Technologies, maximum inflation brand, CO2 and nitrogen gas cartridges for marine, motorcycle, aviation, and military safety devices such as inflatable life jackets and rider fall protection. Since 1965, producing packaged gas and related gas handling equipment, maximum inflation. A couple of great guys, and when that boat is running, it's a beautiful fountain.
KT or KPE racing engines, one of the two out of Texas. A good-looking boat, fan favorite.
100%.
Any of the parades or anything like that, people love to see that boat.
Yeah, Rick Lindsay flying the X Insurance chopper. Neil Melius, who is sitting in for Parker Lindsay inside, taking the shots. This has just been a huge boost to coverage from the shots from the helicam.
Yeah, what Rick Lindsay puts into the sport and the coverage and bringing his helicopter everywhere, we're very appreciative.
sponsoring teams up and down the classes, 2 Pro Class 1 teams, and all the way down to Cat 300, as well as bracketed boats. Team Woody. Boys always put on a good show in Key West. Final race of the Race World Offshore season, the 44th annual event coming up the first week in November. It's like no other. It's the pinnacle event in offshore powerboat racing, a 3-day event.
With the line he just took, I wonder if he was headed straight back. But now we have the battle for the lead, it looks like, with Proven Marine and Piston Broke in bracket 700. Woody is heading back to the pit, so their day is done. But let's...
The Proven Marine
has made a big challenge here, moving up from 4th.
Well, you got to remember the boats behind them.
Yeah, let's see where everyone else is.
Each other. Yep. So they're fighting for the lead right now. They were dead even coming through after lap 3. The question is, what happened with Blind River Bar and Red Rum?
Whoa.
Man, they are having trouble there. That is right where Blind River Bar.
Yeah, they're taking that turn tight.
Yeah, again.
That was Shocker that just went by in 4th. I just want to see who was 3rd.
And you could see the wakes coming across with such a paperclip course.
Yeah.
This is one of the pitfalls of such a tight course, and we'll look at that incident that happened again if you missed it.
Let's watch Proven Marine here. The inside boat, it's the gray one.
Yes,
it says PM on the side.
But you can see this is right where the previous incident happened.
Yep.
And the boat got out of shape, the Blind River Bar.
But he took that tight and he landed hard on the one side and came down on the other, just as trying to run an aggressive line. But look where it put him.
You can't steer a boat when it's flying through the air.
Nope. That's the thing, is you can't turn it if it's not in the water. So and here's Simmons, Marine, Jake Coons, Jason Zalecki. Jim Simmons has supported the sport like no other for the past decade.
Yes, sir.
Towing that boat all over the country, actually the continent. And we were very appreciative of guys like him who don't always get the recognition, but stay committed to it. So
Simmons Marine following us all around the country, Lake of the Ozarks, Michigan City, Chicago. We'll look forward to seeing them in Key West, Florida.
Beachfront of Clearwater Beach in the background. Jake looking back. Where's the 3rd? I think he's running 2nd still if Frame's out front. But where is Framed? Let's see if we well, they
get a wide shot of the turn. They certainly appear to be running. I don't see any wakes in front of them.
Right, that's what I was looking for to see.
They appear to have taken the lead here on lap number 3.
That's what I'm thinking, but we could try to find the framed Naughty Rum boat just to make sure we're not missing something.
Jacob Coons, Jason Zalecki appear to have taken the lead. Great shot with the Exiturn Telecam in tow, and now on board and over top that classic livery of the 404 Simmons Marine Black. Your bracket class 400 liter.
Jason's keeping that boat flying nice, under control, riding level. He's a veteran, very savvy on the sticks.
This race right here on Clearwater Beach. Visit stpeteclearwater.com. Escape to paradise on Florida's Gulf Coast. Visit St. Pete Clearwater. Back to your leaders in bracket class 700.
Looks like Piston Broke and Proven Marine are still battling.
Now there's Blind River Bar on the right side of the screen.
Yep, they're right in 3rd.
So both that came up and over on top of Red Rum, just catching the stern of the boat, just missing the engine cowling.
Yep.
They're running in 3rd as we get a look at the Blind River Bar, Dustin Glewitt and Owen Buis.
This was the factory, the Velocity Factory team, the Dirt Legal boat that we were just on. Connor Langham back to the lead in the battle on the end of lap 4, I have it.
Correct.
And it's still by a nose. Piston broke, followed by Proven Marine, Blind River Bar, Clearwater Cartel in third. And I'm betting Shocker's still right there in fourth. Saying, you guys go ahead and break out, and I'll take the last podium spot.
There's your top 2 boats. That's a start-finish boat. We also saw OC Racing coming through. They are running unopposed at this point. Steve Woody has retired.
Yeah, so they're just going to go around the outside. Those guys in those little boats must be looking at that going, oh man, that looks so calm.
Yeah, there's Miss Stress on your toe at the top left of the screen. There's Dirt Legal. They're running in fourth unofficially. 3 laps to go in bracket class 700.
And that was a new boat built, I think, end of last year, because it was in Key West. So I think it came in mid last year. But Scott McCormick at Velocity Powerboats doing a nice job of getting the name back out there.
That boat paired up with the Porte hydraulic transom bracket. Brad Christopher, an old motocross racer, he suffered an injury in motocross and lost his
lower leg. Yeah.
Yep.
So see him out here doing battle like this.
Yep. He wanted to be competitive. He said, you know what? I like this class 700, and it's a lot like jumping a motorbike.
Yep.
And so
he's got a pretty good throttleman in Connor Langheim.
Yep. And Scott McCormick really helped him out.
Yep.
Set him with the perfect situation, get him back out there and competing. Teamed him up with the Porte hydraulic transom bracket, which he absolutely loves.
And RWO president Harry Blyle knows a little thing about Dirt Legal. They made his side-by-side legal to tool around the streets of Key West. That's what Dirt Legal does. They take recreational vehicles and they make them street legal, so you can't get in trouble. Oh, and there's the framed boat.
Yeah, there's the framed boat now still running.
So let's see.
They may, we'll have to try and sort them out.
Yeah.
We'll try and when they come back around on the next lap. So they're heading now northbound. There's your muddyrum.com.
They don't look like they're slow by any means.
No.
Maybe they came off and started up again if they're not leading.
See where we can get them in relation to the Simmons Marine boat. But they're up and running strong. Team from Key West, the reigning Class 400 champions. They were racing with Hog's Breath last year. And
if we could maybe look back from them to see if we see another bracket 400 boat coming up behind.
Yeah, we'll check that. And they've got that boat running great. It's a 29 Extreme from Lily. Yeah, Britt Lilly actually raced that boat. It's a Mark Spates designed Extreme. One of the original hulls, like boatfloater.com is.
And here's
we'll
Chris
see tomorrow
Tolson,
in Mod V.
Yeah, and Ray Evans in Shocker. So we have them in fourth in bracket 700. No, fifth. Or we'll have, I think they're about Dirt Legal got past them, but unofficial, we're doing our best to try to keep track for you. John Jeniak, Michael Flamia.
Crane Offshore. Framed is a
Tyler Crockett engine, correct?
Tyler Crockett engine, 850 horsepower in this little boat.
Rocket.
Good look now as these boats are heading on the beach side leg.
Yep.
Going southbound. So there is Team Framed, and then all of your bracketed class boats. And we're back on board with the X Insurance Helicam. Team Framed definitely looks strong.
Okay, the X Insurance
Hartman Motorsports
boat is under tow, so they're out. certainly a battle of attrition in being waged in bracket 400 today. And sometimes you'll get that in conditions like this because it's not so bumpy that you can't run high RPM, but you're still coming in and out of the water and banging up the equipment.
Well, these boats, just like the Mod V boats, they've got big racing tabs on the back.
Yep.
They can be like riding a bucking bronco.
And those tabs, you basically want them level to extend the length of the running surface to help keep your bow down as much as possible. But
here as they went into the turn, they want to settle that boat down, trim the drives in, and it appears that Simmons Marine is chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like framed is still out front. Do you have that as the end of lap 4?
Yes.
Okay. So 1 is framed, 2 is Simmons. Oh, and here's the bracket 700 boats.
Yep.
And
Blind River Bar is following Proven Marine, it looked like.
That's Perdition just going by there in 400.
So Perdition's unofficially in 3rd. Again, another 700 boat. Just, boy, having trouble in this.
Chocker in that turn.
The south turn is giving them all they can handle. Dirt legal.
Yeah, we'll have to try to catch back up with the leaders in bracket 700 because they should only have 2 laps, maybe 3 to go.
Two after this.
Yeah.
For sure, Eric. Todd and Eric here on the X Insurance live stream, the Clearwater Nationals. Eric will be doing a full recap after tomorrow's second day of racing, which you can read on Monday morning at speedonthewater.com.
And if you want to catch a story I just did on a great family-run business, the Sarises at Performance Marine up in Lake Bolton, New York. I got to go visit them, and that was a great trip. And here's X Insurance with Marianne Stolkup and Scott Jobin. And I believe it's her first race, maybe her second, but good to see new competitors out here. Not sure what position they would be in right now.
21 Super Boat, Marianne Stolkup and Scott Jobin. 742 Safe Cash. They appear to be in 5th unofficially.
And the Safe Cash has the new K9 mascot George, our new dog in the pits, with Derek Conklin, who's their driver and crew chief.
Immediately following this race, the helicopters will be going in for refueling, and then we'll be back after a brief intermission for the Pro Class 1 race today. And we have a full schedule on tap tomorrow, which includes more bracketed class racing, the 500s and the 600s, as well as Mod V, Cat 300, Super Cat, and super stock boats that are here, as well as another Pro Class 1 race tomorrow.
This 21 Super Boat, that boat has been around for so long for performance boaters running around Great South Bay and New York and Long Island. Great to see that company getting some kind of have some bright light breathed into it. Of course, John Cohen would rather see people build a new boat for the class instead of restoring older ones, but still pretty cool to see all these Long Island boats out here. I grew up in southern Connecticut, and the Activators, the Progressions, the Super Boats, the Kryptonites. Oh, now framed is down.
Yeah. So
that's too bad.
They had a nice run going on. John Jennick and Michael Flamia in Team Framed drink naughty rum, and here they had the lead with just maybe 3 or 4 laps left to go.
It's sitting stern deep. I hope they don't stop. We're back on the 21 Super Boat. They're getting a good ride. Scott's keeping it pretty under control for his new driver.
It really seems that the course is very controlled on the outbound leg north. And then, you know, coming around here, we're looking at 2A, B, and C, the 3-pin turn. And but boy, when they get down in front of Pier 60,
well, I wonder
end,
if there isn't
really
something. I wonder if there isn't something kind of wonky rolling off the pier.
Well, I mean, it was low tide about an hour and a half ago, so I mean, the tide may be picking out, rolling out, going.
Yeah, a structure like that can do funny things to wave action.
Well, true. And they're not far away from, you know, where the tide's ripping through from the inlet, so it could be causing some more chop, especially for these smaller boats.
Yeah, just kind of a cauldron, just bubbling up.
And with the wave effects of the other boats so close on the other side of the course. Here from the Porte Products broadcast booth, Todd and Eric. Porte Products, leaders in marine technology and builders of the Porte hydraulic lift system, the most advanced in the world. Let us build one for you at porteproducts.com.
Yeah, if we could get back on the leaders for bracket 700, I'd like to see where that's at. If we could find the piston broke and proven marine.
And down to the final few laps of this of these bracket 200, 400, and 700 boats. Of course, OC Racing is running unopposed now after Team Woody had to retire. And it appears that in Class 400 that the leader in bracket Class 400, the team framed, the DrinkNaughtyRum.com team that had some engine problems, and see if they've been forced to retire.
All right, let's see. We're still on with the X Insurance boat, just passing the pier. Bracket 700 boat. And it was funny because when I first heard Safe Cash X Insurance, I thought like Safe Cash was something. They said, no, it's just a name. I figured it was, I didn't know if it was a bail bondsman or something, but no, it was just a cool name we came up with. But this looks like, is that Red Rum? Or Blind
River Bar there.
Yeah, that's Blind River. So
we get a look at the boats that are in the lead on that turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on the north side, of course. And
yeah,
we're seeing our lead boats.
So Proven Marine, let's see if they're chasing Piston Broke still. Look, they were. Or who's behind? Let's see now. That's Shocker. We had them fourth, I believe, or fifth at the end of the last lap. So it's Proven is right here with the white and the gray hull, and Blind River's behind them. Oh, is that Piston Broke back there in third? Yeah. So it looks like Proven Marine is in the lead right now. This would be the end of 5, right?
Yeah, unless we were unable to log a lap. We'll see if we get a checkered flag when they come through.
Or a white flag, maybe on this one.
But this could be the white flag. Yes. Potentially. We're back. The boat's coming around 2A, B, and C. So this should be your leader in bracket class 700. Proven Marine, yes?
Yep.
Or is it? Yeah, Proven Marine. Now, Piston Broke was in tight with them last time we saw them.
Yeah, something might have happened in a turn, or
see if we can follow our top 3 boats as they come through here.
they're staying glued to the water, running smart. Yeah, look at that. Looked like framed was taking on water when it went past that.
Yeah, you pointed that out.
And now
towboat, you see the towboat there.
Yeah, and that's got a pump. That's got a pump on it.
Yeah, OC Racing has already finished up in the center of the course.
Yeah, they may have pulled early because they were running unopposed.
So you're seeing a flag being held there? Yes, that was a checkered flag.
That was a checkered.
That was
for Proven.
Yep.
Okay, so Proven Marine takes one. Let's see who follows back. If Rick will put us with him. Okay, that's Blind Rivers too. Yep.
Blind River Bar, Dusty Cluett, and Owen Buis.
And Shocker is in third.
So there was some attrition.
Chris Colson. Framed is taking on water. Piston Broke comes in fourth. They're just staying on plane and head straight back to the pits.
So they fell from
let's see
to
if
fourth.
There's a helicopter, there's a boat over, and a sea tow boat. If we could get to Framed and take a look at it. That's the boat in the middle of the course taking on water and almost sinking.
And then Dirt Legal we have unofficially in fifth here.
Yep.
And, you know, the boat that we did not see after about the third lap was Red Rum.
Right.
There was a collision.
There they are.
And there they are now. Okay, so they're
sixth.
Again, all of these results in bracketed class racing are unofficial. They are subject to scrutiny with their GPS data cards being turned in to race control to make sure they didn't break out of their bracketed speeds. Looks like Simmons Marine will be your winner in bracketed class 400 here today, unofficially.
I just hope Anthony Cruz. I just hope the throttleman's okay.
Well, you call that, Eric.
It just looked like it was sitting so low and it was barely staying on plane before. So I hope they can get a rope onto him and get some pumps in there quick. You don't want to see this happen. But they are taking on water rapidly.
Team Frame, the 29 Extreme with the Tyler.
Excuse my language, but that's going down fast.
Target Racing engines. I mean, they're going down significantly.
I think they might have hit something, is what we're hearing from race control. But that boat, the towboat that was near them, needs to be getting over there because it has the equipment to get a line on there.
And we're gonna get back to you with more update and set the stage for the rest of the afternoon here for the X Insurance Clearwater Nationals. Thanks for joining us.
Family first. That's just the way I looked at it. And the family, my friends and employees are the ones that helped me get to what we are today. We are first responder, emergency roadside, incident, major incidents, recovery incidents with the Highway Patrol, Department of Transportation, and our family and employees goes into a risk every day. There's no way that we can run a towing company without insurance. What I look for an insurance company is a company that can be partners with me and support when the unfortunate happens. Unfortunately, I did have a small incident last year. X Insurance got involved step by step, helped me how to get to it, pay the losses, make sure that I was secure, made sure that equipment was correct, made sure that I was where I needed to be to go back to work. I didn't have to worry about nothing in my business because my insurance was handling the loss and it was right on top of the money. I can continue to worry about my business, worry about my staff, my family, and let the insurance do what they do best. As long as I stay in business, we will need insurance company.
We're back here with the X Insurance Clearwater Nationals as we've wrapped up our bracketed class racing of the day. Coming up is our 6-lap Pro Class 1 event, which will wrap up racing today. And we've got a full slate that starts at noon tomorrow, and you can watch them throughout our media platforms at Race World Offshore's Facebook page and X Insurance Sports Facebook page, as well as our YouTube channels for both. Poll results for the upcoming Pro Class 1 race, your top 3 boats: GC Racing, X Insurance South in Lane 2, and Lane 3, X Insurance North. Pothole Heroes will have Lane 4, and Lane 5 will be Monster Energy. So let's look at what happened here earlier today. And you saw the Pro Class 1 qualifying. Pothole Heroes.
They were first up, kind of set the stage for what everyone else was going to have to beat, but I can guarantee you that John Tomlinson wasn't looking for that. But here we are, Marine Technologies Inc., new boat, continuing their ascension in the class.
Yep,
They've been on the podium multiple times this year. This is their first pole position, if I'm not mistaken.
They have the fastest qualifying time of 2:33.21. Like a Besa, Grant Bruggerman. There's the boat that will take the number 2 position in the grid. X Insurance South.
Brett Lilly on the wheel, Bill Piper in throttling, and I don't think lane 2 is going to hurt them much. They're going to go back. They're going to look at their data because they are one of the most data-involved teams.
A little bit more than a second off the speed of GC Racing.
And now, surprisingly, MCon Monster Energy 4 seconds off.
Yeah, over 5 seconds.
Yeah, over 5 seconds.
GC.
So
yeah.
you know that wasn't what they wanted. Hopefully they didn't have a problem that they can't fix, and we want to see them back out here because
it's all set up.
Yeah.
You know, you got to pick the right prop. You know, as we mentioned earlier, when you're qualifying, you set the boat up differently than you do for a race.
So you figure these boats are all what, 12 feet wide, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So that's 5 of them. So that means Monster Energy is going to be 60 feet farther out from the pole position, minimum, not counting the space in between the boats. So probably closer to 80 when they hit those green buoys. That's a big disadvantage to overcome when you're in a points battle.
And
that they're in.
And this is a points battle for the national championship between X Insurance South and Monster Energy. Mm-hmm. X Insurance South with an 11-point lead. And GC Racing is only 22 points off. But, I mean, in order for them to get around X Insurance South, they would have to hope that X Insurance South had some sort of issue and then fell to the back of the pack.
Well, X Insurance South is between Supercat and Pro Class 1. They've been very good starters. And here's your winners in bracket 700.
From bracket class 700, big day for them. Victorious with the checkered flag.
Florida-based team. Good to see them do well, and I'm sure they'll be in Key West.
So we've had action already, and there's more to come here today, and a lot more tomorrow starting at noon when all the classes will be back, the remaining bracketed boats, as well as all of the national classes, the Mod Vs, the Super Stocks, the Factory Stock 500, Super Cats, and Pro Class 1 teams, as well as the Cat 300. We've got a lot more coming your way, and we'll continue on here from the X Insurance Clearwater Nationals. Back after a brief break with the start of Pro Class 1 today.
Your machine got you here, and the Maximus Quick Tire Inflation Kit will get you home. This compact tire filling kit comes with over 200 grams of CO2 for filling your motorcycle, side-by-side, and ATV tires. No batteries, no disappointment. The only US-made CO2 valve.
Insurance sucks, and we think so too. Why? Because traditional policies don't provide complete coverage, leaving you to deal with the holes and gaps. But not anymore. X Insurance's True Umbrella and True Homeowners are a true partner, covering any potential gaps and exclusions. With X Insurance's True Umbrella and True Homeowners policy, you will experience true insurance when compared to traditional policies. Contact us today or ask your agent about X Insurance.
To me, being a mountain guide is just the greatest opportunity to share my passion for skiing and climbing with people who are new to it. My main goal out there is to take care of and shepherd other people through the mountains, make sure that they don't get hurt, they don't get into trouble, guide them to places they always wanted to go but needed the skill set and knowledge of a guide to help them in accomplishing that goal. And then come back safe. No 2 days are ever the same in the mountains. Everything changes, the weather, the avalanche hazards. Not everything is really perfectly safeguarded. The mountains are an uncertain place. So it's a fine line, but I think when you can trust somebody and you do push them to a higher level, it's really rewarding. Ultimately, it's not a question of if any accident's ever going to happen if you're doing a lot of mountain guiding, but it's when. The knowledge that we have a really strong partner in our insurance company is essential. I'm helping my clients achieve great things in the mountains, achieve their goals in the mountains, and that's what X Insurance does for me. They were there for us when we needed them. They're providing an opportunity for us to go out and guide mountain climbing and backcountry skiing in the beautiful Wasatch Range, and that's something that I wouldn't feel comfortable at all doing without a great insurance company behind us. I know that I can trust them and I can go forward with confidence.
Family first. That's just the way I look at it. And the family, my friends and employees are the ones that helped me get to what we are today. We are first responder, emergency roadside, major incidents, recovery incidents with the Highway Patrol, Department of Transportation, and our family and employees goes into a risk every day. There's no way that we can run a towing company without insurance. What I look for an insurance company is a company that can be partners with me and support when the unfortunate happens. Unfortunately, I did have a small incident last year. X Insurance got involved step by step, helped me how to get to it, pay the losses, make sure that I was secure, make sure that our equipment was correct, make sure that I was where I needed to be to go back to work. I didn't have to worry about nothing in my business because my insurance was handling the loss and it was right on top of the money. I can continue to worry about my business, worry about my staff, my family, and let the insurance do what they do best. As long as I stay in business, we will need insurance company.
Camera guys, you can't fucking stay on every fucking class. Like, oh, we gotta go
How
to
many
this class
cameras? How many cameras are here?
We got one in the helicopter. We got one fucking in the hotel room over there. That's fucking far away.
here in Clearwater, Florida for the final WPRA national race.
It's a super tight points battle this year.
For the national championship, everything's close with all classes. Pro Class 1's very close with all the teams. Super Cat is beyond close.
Big rivalry here, Grade L, so we're going to be going deck to deck to see who's going to come out on top.
It's Clearwater. I mean, anything can happen.
The golf's always rough and kick up. The only good thing about the golf is you can time it a little bit better. We were in Chicago and that was an absolute washing machine.
When you're talking racing against 16 or 18 other boats, there's not a spot on the course that has a good line. There's not a smooth section of water.
Yeah, we've been knocking at the door a little bit, but I feel like we're pretty close. We're right there. We're going to be looking to get on that top step of the podium.
This is where champions are crowned, and we're hoping we can be part of that process.
Here we'll do 0-30 tomorrow. Last race of the year, guys. It's all down to this. Winner takes all.
Yes, the X Insurance Clearwater Nationals. Welcome back to live coverage here from Clearwater, Florida. You can see a little weather on the left side of the screen developing a little bit off to the south. It probably put us in a slight delay coming back, but the choppers are refueled and the boats are soon heading out on the water in our Saturday race final. It's the first of two races in Pro Class 1 to determine the national champions in Pro Class 1 this season, and it'll be an even points race over 2 days. The big catamarans with the twin 1100 horsepower QC4V Mercury Racing turbocharged engines will race 6 laps here today and again tomorrow, and that'll wrap up 2 days of action. But there's a lot between here and there. There's a full day on Sunday that starts at noon with the bracket 6 and 700, the Mod Vs and Cat 300s, and then factory stock and Super Cat, Super Stock, and Pro Class 1. So full day of action tomorrow. And the Pro Class 1s are coming up here, Eric Colby. And earlier we had qualifying where the GC Racing team had the fastest lap, and they'll take on the inside lane here. X Insurance South was second, and X Insurance North third.
Yep. So we've got the battle of the number 6 drive boat in the inside lane against one rudder boat with BPMs in lane 2, and then the combo boat with the number 6s and the rudder in lane 3. So I think it'll be interesting to see who gets that whole shot. That's gonna play a big difference in the way this race shakes out. It's only 6 laps. This is a sprint. If you're like the Formula One guys when they do their sprint races on Saturday, they don't have the same kind of strategy element that they have for the longer races the next day. So this is going to be get out front and defend the lane as quick as possible.
Yeah, so X Insurance South sitting on top of the points lead as we head into this race, but it's a close one. Just 11 points back is Monster Energy, and GC Racing, who has the inside lane, as we mentioned earlier, is within a shot of the national championship with the win today. There's our pole position top 3 boats. They were within 3 seconds of each other as we look back at the
if you
cranes.
look at the cranes in the back, but that's the framed boat that went down. They were trying to get it out, and it looks like they got the straps on it, so that's the main thing.
That's good news as we see our Pro Class 1 teams coming back to the water, and they're waiting now to move out to the start area. Maybe a good time to go over the grid. We're looking at Monster Energy that will be in the outside lane, and GC Racing that will be in lane 1 here today.
Yep, lane 1 will be GC Racing with Willie Cabeza is the owner driver, and Grant Bruggeman. Lane 2 is X Insurance South. But let's look at some highlights from earlier today. Here's Pothole Heroes going out first for the qualifying lap in the shortest victory hull in the fleet and very distinct deck lines, and they had a good run, but it wasn't what John Tomlinson wanted. Now we have the Marine Technologies GC Racing, first pole position of the year. Like I said, they've been ascending all season. So Randy Sissom, the owner of MTI Powerboats, has to be very happy with this pole. And let's see how they defend that line, because Willie's one of the newer drivers, and now in number 3, X Insurance South, Britt Lilly is one of the most seasoned drivers in Pro Class 1 with Throttleman Bill Pyburn, and he knows how to defend a line if he gets a lead.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big factor in
About
this.
a second and a half off the qualifying speed of GC Racing, and a boat that was looking to qualify better and potentially at least be 1 or 2 in vying there for that first corner with X Insurance South was Monster Energy, but they were off the pace by almost 6 seconds.
Yeah, you're hoping, not hoping, but you'd rather hear that it was just they might have missed a little on the setup, then they had a problem that might carry over into this race. So let's see if whatever happened, it gets fixed and they're more competitive once the green flag goes up.
Howard Coyle and Tyler Miller, the reigning Pro Class 1 National World Champions from last year.
But speaking of the green flag, there is no green flag for this race. They go the yellow flag up to a pair of green buoys, and that's when the throttlemen drop the hammers. They said very distinctly in the drivers' meeting this morning, anyone who is ahead of the pace boat when they get to those green buoys is going to be penalized.
Now, that was a point of contention because that changed in Chicago, and it ruffled some feathers for sure. But it's back to the original starting procedure. Here's Pro Class 1. These are your canopy catamarans up to 50 feet in length, powered by the twin QC4V Mercury turbocharged engines. The drives are surface drives with the rudder or the Mercury number 6 drives. And if you have the number 6 drives, you can deploy a tunnel tab at the stern end of the boat down the tunnel to compress air in the straightaways and gain a little extra speed. And if that happens, you get a 250-pound penalty, and you would weigh 250 pounds more than the surface drive and rudder boats that come out of the water at 11,800 pounds. And these boats have a maximum speed right around 140 miles an hour, Eric.
Yeah, and for the people who are sitting at home saying, well, you don't know what you're talking about, we know a number 6 is also a surfacing drive. It's just a different application. It looks more like a stern drive. It has a much greater trim range, while a BPM surface drive doesn't have a lot of trim range. So we know they're both surfacing, but there's too many other differences to go into right now. We love this shot, though, from on board the Pro X Insurance North boat. We're still trying to figure out what that alien is hanging behind the drivers. But it's a great view looking out the front.
Yeah, it looks like it's JJ Turk's Lucky Seaweed.
We do have orange smoke, so they are getting them in position.
This is going to be a fast run up and
they're
get
they're going to get them going. Yeah. You don't keep people waiting when they want to get out in their 150 mile an hour boats.
So we have 3 victory hulls, or check that. Do we have 3? 2.
3. One Douglas Marine Skater, 1 MTI.
3 victory hulls.
No, 2 MTIs.
2 MTIs, that's right.
X Insurance North.
Is
yeah, 2 MTIs, 2 victories, 1 skater.
All right, so get that straight. 2 Marine Technology hulls, a skater, and 2 victory hulls here. As you see, the top speed qualifier in the
lane 1.
Yep, it was GC Racing. There's lane 2, X Insurance South. Lane 3, X Insurance North. Pothole Heroes will take lane 4.
And then lane 5.
Monster Energy.
So it's not a negative, it's just a reality. Your least experienced driver is in lane 1.
And just because he's a rookie at Pro Class 1 level.
He's a rookie in Pro Class 1.
But he's a former world champion in factory
stock. Yep.
Yes.
And
orange smoke means we're going to get those boats up, get them on plane, and they will line up behind the pace boat and need to line up, as Chief Referee Bob Teague stressed to them. And the new starting procedure, they'll come down here on the south beachside leg, and when they come between those 2 green buoys out off the beach, that will be the official start of the race.
Provided they're even, it's a clean start. If someone jumps it, they're not going to know, because they're not going to red flag it unless it's a disaster. And then that one guy, if they jump, that boat will get a penalty. But they probably won't know until after the race.
I thought I heard them say they were going to announce it on 7.
Or it will be on 78
on race control. So, and they should. I mean,
and JW monitors that for us, so he can tell us if someone gets penalized pretty quickly. And we'll relay any information we get to you folks. Just like you, we're anxious to see this get going, but
this race will,
just like you, we just want to see a good race.
This race will not decide the national championship. It will have a heavy bearing on who wins. These are 50% point races today and tomorrow. So instead of a full race, they're racing 6 laps today, 6 laps tomorrow, half points for each day. And there is your starting grid.
Yeah, this has the feel of you can't win it today, but you could lose it.
Very true.
Just like in Key West when they say you can't win it on the first day, but you can lose it if you take yourself out and you don't finish. So let's see how the strategy plays out about how they run this race, but I can almost guarantee that if X Insurance South gets a lead, they're going to be hard to take it from.
Well, it's hard to get around any fast boat in this sport. Getting around the boats in front of you, it's tough. They're going to push you to the outside and block you all the way. So getting to the first pin and around and out of that turn first means the world as to whether or not you are going to have a winning day.
And if I'm not mistaken, they do not do the you have to hold your lane through the first turn anymore. As long as you establish a 2-boat overlap, you can go where you want to go.
That is your starting grid on the inside. Lane 1, GC Racing, Willie Cabeza and Grant Bruggerman from Grant's Custom Racing. Grant's Signature Racing. And then lane 2 is X Insurance South, Bill Piper and Britt Lilly.
Lane 3, X Insurance North, JJ Turk, Nick Buis. Lane 4, Pothole Heroes, John Tomlinson, Carlos De Quesada. And lane 5,
out of the crowd,
Monster Energy.
Yep, Pier 60. Boats, fantastic crowd on hand and up and down the beautiful beaches here on Clearwater.
And we got a clean start. But where's X Insurance? Oh, there's X Insurance South. I lost them for a minute.
So the official start of the race will actually come.
X Insurance South is in last. Pothole Heroes is in lane 3. I wonder what happened there. But X Insurance North is out to the early lead.
So X Insurance North edges in front of the GC Racing
start
team.
The race. Yep. So this is the start of lap 1 of 6. So they're basically racing 30 miles today and 30 miles tomorrow. And GC Racing has to defend the inside and try to take advantage of it because it's the cleanest way around the course if you can hold the line. JJ Turk from Cocoa Beach, Florida, Nick Buis from Madeira Beach and X Insurance North. The 2 MTIs out front.
GC Racing noses ahead.
New generation versus the older generation.
GC North went around that south turn at 7 seconds. 3 seconds better than South and 11 seconds better than North, and that's where they made their speed up to get ahead on that northbound leg on the first lap here in the Pro Class 1 Saturday event. On board with Bill Piper and Britt Lilly and X Insurance South. GC Racing has the lead. X Insurance North in second. On board the X Insurance Helicam. Truax Homeowners, Flood and Wind, all-in-one coverage, X Insurance.
I'm sure Randy Sissom is the onshore communication for the team along with Kelly Bruggeman, if they have both of them. But they're taking that turn tight, but they look like they slowed almost for a minute there, didn't it?
Sure did.
Maybe it was just trying to take the turn clean and hold the inside, but for a minute there, it looked like they slowed. Don't want to see anything mechanical or Guardian or anything like that come into play to decide this race.
No. So GC Racing has the tunnel tab. They'll deploy it here, use it to an advantage, and now
here comes X Insurance South.
So they've moved up into second place, but they're battling in there with the X Insurance North. And there is a battle going on for third, as you can see the Monster Energy team on the inside.
Second, third, and fourth all battling each other, which is exactly what Grant and Willie want, because that just lets them run their line when no one challenges them.
X Insurance South.
Back to Marine Technology GC Racing. See what their advantage is over the second place boat. But X Insurance South has moved up in second, and Monster Energy is now third, but Monster Energy's taken a tighter line thanks to this view from the X Insurance helicopter. Monster Energy is pulling up alongside X Insurance South to take second place. Let's see if it holds or if X Insurance South comes back by. Yeah, the Monster Energy has a little better attitude. It looks like Bill Pipern's having to fly the X Insurance South a little bit more than he wants.
GC took that southbound turn quicker than any other boat there.
I'm wondering if X Insurance has some bigger props on it than they thought they should, than maybe others have right now. Might come to them if they burn off some fuel, but...
So Monster Energy having a nice run here.
Yeah. And the thing is if they stay in front of X Insurance South, that's kind of all. They don't need to worry about GC.
That's right. But GC.
So there's a strategy game, but GC's not far behind.
No,
in third
GC
in points.
wants to be in first,
Yeah.
obviously. Onboard camera and a good shot overhead of Monster Energy.
Yeah. This is looking out the deck of X Insurance South over from the cockpit, which is a cool shot.
X Insurance South really going wide to the outside and losing distance.
Myrick Boyle took a nice turn right there. Very good driver. And that could be, it depends on who you talk to as far as which boat has the advantage between the rudder or the number 6s in turns.
Yeah, GC Racing came around the first lap in 2 minutes 40 seconds and unofficially averaging at 116 miles an hour. So they've got that boat cooking. Running nice and flat, nose down, getting enough air, bouncing, but still keeping those props connected to the water.
Yeah, X Insurance now. I'm not sure if they're second or third though, because there's two sets of boat weights to their right.
That's Monster Energy in front of them.
Yeah, so they're in second. They're in third.
The nose carrying a little bit more than I think that they would like.
Yeah. As you look at the attitude of this boat, it's not picking up. It's not popping the nose the way X South was.
So
neither is Monster. They're flying at pretty level too.
GC continuing to hold the lead. Monster Energy in second and X Insurance South in third.
It's looking like North is in fourth and Potholes in fifth.
There's your leader, Willie Cabeza and Grant Bruggerman. GC Racing is really taking that turn on the south end much better than the two boats behind. Getting from pen 1 to 3 in 9 seconds, MCON 13, X Insurance South 17. So that tells you that
this almost looks like it's laid down a little, doesn't it?
Yeah, they can tell you the dominance that X Insurance South has had over the last couple of races, which has been in the turns.
Yeah,
they may have made a prop selection that's not going their way.
Yeah, because they've only got 4 more laps for it to come to them. It's not like a long race.
There's your leaders all on the screen. You can see the distance that X Insurance, that GC Racing has over.
Yeah, now Willie's defending better. He's taking a tight line because Myrick's always going to try to come in the inside. It's his move. And Britt just made a nice turn to square that one up. So all these guys are stepping up their driving game, trying to keep the line as tight as possible.
So we're going to check on this lap here and see the difference between first and second. GC Racing really having a great day. And it looks like they're moving away from Monster Energy. But they have that boat, the 482 Marine Technologies hull. They'll come through on lap number 3, continuing the lead. They look like they picked up speed from that first lap. Around it. Just a couple seconds quicker than the first lap. Turning that one at 2:39.
Monster's right there.
Right at about 120 miles an hour unofficially. So we're halfway through this race, and GC Racing continues to lead, followed by Monster Energy and X Insurance South. Today and tomorrow it's for the National Championship in Pro Class 1, heading to the RWO Key West Worlds. GC with an 8-second lead over Imcon, and 13-second lead over the X Insurance South team.
You can just, from the visual though, you can tell that they put some distance out there now. They're checking out a little bit. And the weight's distributed better in the MTI than it is the other two boats, because it's not popping the nose again like the second and third place boats.
And the Monster Energy nose is really carrying high a couple of times here, and I think that X Insurance South has made up a little bit of distance. They're going to be pushing them out.
Yes. So it'll be a matter of if
they're going to have to cross through the churn of GC Racing, but they're still trying to hold that pin tight. They're going to stay in the dirty water.
Yep. Well, could this be enough where the X Insurance, just the extra length is just spanning things a little bit better, and as Monster Energy gets lighter, is that bow going to come up more?
So here are your top 3 boats, and we haven't seen much of Pothole Heroes or X Insurance North.
No.
Just the top 3 boats.
But here again, looks like MCI, looks like Marine Technology's pulling ahead. GC Racing.
Biggest boat in the field, the 482 Marine Technology's hull in the lead.
Yeah, look at how light X Insurance South is getting.
Turn that lap at 2:36, 2 minutes 36 seconds, 120 miles an hour. They are on their game.
So that was the end of 4.
Yep. Monster Energy Racing in second, X Insurance South in third. 2 laps to go.
Well, if X Insurance South is going to do anything, they got to start making their charge now.
Seemed like they have made some distance on the outbound leg heading north, but gave it up on the beach side. Run down towards the south end. Monster Energy, Myra Coyle, Tyler Miller holding solidly on to second. GC with an 8-second lead over Imcon. 17 seconds over the X Insurance South team, and X Insurance South was only 3 seconds behind Monster Energy, but there's only 2 laps left. There they are, Britt Lilly, the wheelman, throttleman Bill Pyburn. It's a 47 victory. It's a shaft and rudder boat.
Wow, look at that.
And a day like today, you like to have that tunnel tab that Monster has and that the GC Racing has. You press that air down the straightaways. You got to get off of the tunnel tab in the turns, but in the straightaways, it's an asset. You're going to be able to go a lot quicker down the straightaways.
Yeah, it's like kind of, what's the, what are the Formula One cars?
The DRS?
The DRS, yep. I did just get a message from Anthony Cruz from the Throttlement of Red Rum, who had the incident in the Bracket 700 race, and he said he's okay. So that's good to hear. Thank you for checking in. Marine Technology is holding a master class in how to run a Pro Class 1 race.
Penultimate lap concluding, and they'll be out for their final lap of the day, and they're cruising right now. We did see on a previous shot that X Insurance North and Pothole Heroes 4 and 5 are still on the same lap.
Let's see if we get a white flag.
They turned the speed up on that lap and got it up above 122 miles an hour. So they're not playing games. They're here to win.
And X Insurance South is trying all different lines to try to make up ground on Monster Energy, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Dive to the inside, try and get close to the pin. Nothing but churned water in front of them.
And meanwhile, nothing but clean water out in front of Marine Technologies GC Racing.
So still about maybe a second less, 7 seconds in front of Monster Energy is GC Racing, 12 seconds in front of the third place boat. But this has been the day of the 482 Marine Technologies catamaran. Willie Cabeza and Grant Bruggerman of Grant Signature Racing. Here you see them coming on the far north turn, the 3-pin turn.
What a great shot.
Yep. See these boats dancing on the water. They are compressing down the tunnels, powered by twin 1100 horsepower Mercury turbocharged engines.
Want to say hello to Taylor Sism, who's at home getting ready to have a baby. So we miss you being out here, but hope everything's going well with that, and best of luck when that event takes place.
Top shot there from the final turn down the stretch. Top 3 boats. X Insurance South didn't have a
Not
solution.
the way they wanted to run today.
For GC Racing and Monster Energy here today.
And when we go to talk to Bill Pyburn later, he's going to tell us I missed the setup. Most likely. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Surely. But that's what they...
But compared to their qualifying, if you're Monster Energy, you got to feel pretty good.
Absolutely. But when you finish off the pace that you have, you're always going to be upset and trying to do better. And here we go with GC Racing, your winner here in Clearwater today. Marine Technologies, number 32, takes the win.
Convincingly. That was impressive.
Took the inside lane, the fastest qualifying speed, and led from start to finish. Monster Energy takes second, and X Insurance South takes third. Willie and Grant, big win for them on the Pro Class 1 Series in the final race of the National Series, lining things up for Key West. And they've got to be feeling good about themselves here today. Turned that last lap at 121.7 miles an hour.
Well, they got to get through tomorrow, too.
No doubt. So,
but, you know, same thing happens tomorrow. You could all of a sudden be looking at national champions right there.
Beautiful lines.
Yeah,
the beautiful lines of that 482 Marine Technologies hull.
Do we call that black or pink or fuchsia?
Fuchsia. Yeah. That's what I've heard. That's what
Okay.
my wife would say.
Definitely a distinctive livery. Easy to spot, so we appreciate that.
This thing is wide open.
Points
Yeah,
wise.
going to tomorrow. Try and give you an accurate
That's good for us then.
accounting of where these boats stand here in a moment. But high fives in the cockpit of GC Racing. Big win today. They kept turning those laps right at about 120 miles an hour here today. Means they were flying on the straightaways, Eric.
And you think in the number of throttlemen that Willie has had to adjust to. He started with Gary Ballou, then he went to Sean Torrente, now he's with Grant. So for a guy who's still pretty new to this, it's pretty darn adaptable. You got to give credit for that. And he can catch too, because he just got that flag.
Well,
unless that's Grant, I can't tell.
Well, they're back.
I think that's Grant that just hopped out.
Both back on the deck, and they'll unfurl the flag. Victorious here in race 1 of Pro Class 1 here at the X Insurance Clearwater Nationals. Grant Bruggerman and Willie Cabeza in Marine Technologies.
Now this only makes me want to see a big turnout in Pro Class 1 in Key West even more. Well, because that's going to be some great
and I was hearing 7 and potentially 7 boats, 8 boats maybe in Pro Class 1.
Yeah.
All right, so unofficially, and there's still bonus points to be added and points for tomorrow, but right now X Insurance South unofficially has a very slim lead in the national point standings with 414 points, and Monster Energy 408 points, GC Racing with 402. So that's going to make it tight tomorrow.
Yep.
You got to add an extra point in for every boat finish, but tomorrow when we hit the air just before noon, be able to recap that for you. And of course, all of these results are unofficial. These boats have to meet tech, be spec'd after the race, but those are your unofficial standings right now with 1 race to go in the Pro Class 1 season here at the X Insurance Clearwater Nationals. Here's the start of today's Pro Class 1 race. You can see GC Racing had the inside line.
Yeah, JJ and Nick were flying X Insurance South trying to, but for some reason, who's not in this picture?
X Insurance South.
X Insurance South. So something got bogged down at the start or something. And Willie and Grant were smart to take advantage of it.
Look at Monster Energy from the outside lane.
Yep, from lane 5.
Look at the distance on them. And great turn there by Willie.
Yep.
And here's Monster Energy going around X Insurance. Later
X Insurance South had gotten around X Insurance North, but then here came Monster.
Yep.
So this was the acceleration they were looking for this morning that they didn't have during qualifying.
That's correct. So what wasn't working earlier, they learned from, and Myra Coyle and Tyler Miller got to work and got the boat flying just right here for the race in the afternoon.
Yeah, the boat looked solid. And then here's the boat that no one could catch today. Marine Technology, GC Racing.
Taking the checkered flag here at the X Insurance Clearwater Nationals. Willie and Grant, winners in this first race of the Pro Class 1 series. Today, and it's half points for today, half points for tomorrow. You have a 3-way race that is 12 points between the top to the bottom. X Insurance South still holding a tight lead over Monster Energy, and GC Racing, who wins today, is in striking distance of winning the national championship if they have another finish tomorrow like they did today. They had it all going on today in the 482 Marine Technologies Hall.
Unless South had a Guardian issue early and that's why they were off the pace, I was just going to say it's nice that we didn't have that come into play.
So we're back tomorrow with the full slate of action. It starts at noon. We have all of the major national classes that'll come in, as well as the remaining bracketed boats. Factory stock will be racing along with Mod V, Super Cat, Super Stock, Pro Class 1 again, Cat 300. And what a great race to wrap things up here at the X Insurance Clearwater Nationals for Saturday. Back Sunday with a big schedule beyond just before noon. Join us again right at the Race World Offshore and X Insurance Sports Facebook pages. Also coverage at YouTube. Go to YouTube and subscribe. Check out the great reels at X Insurance Sports on YouTube. That'll do it for Todd Swafford and Eric Colby. The X Insurance Clearwater Nationals brought to you in part by Maximum Inflation and Porte Products. We're back tomorrow. Catch you then. From Clearwater, Florida. See ya.
Your machine got you here, and the Maximus Quick Tire Inflation Kit will get you home. This compact tire filling kit comes with over 200 grams of CO2 for filling your motorcycle, side-by-side, and ATV tires. No batteries, no disappointment. The only US-made CO2 valve.
Insurance sucks, and we think so too. Why? Because traditional policies don't provide complete coverage, leaving you to deal with the holes and gaps. But not anymore. X Insurance's true umbrella and true homeowners are a true partner, covering any potential gaps and exclusions. With X Insurance's true umbrella and true homeowners policy, you will experience true insurance when compared to traditional policies. Contact us today or ask your agent about X Insurance.
To me, being a mountain guide is just the greatest opportunity to share my passion for skiing and climbing with people who are new to it. My main goal out there is to take care of and shepherd other people through the mountains, make sure that they don't get hurt, they don't get into trouble, guide them to places they always wanted to go but needed the skill set and knowledge of a guide to help them in accomplishing that goal. And then come back safe. No 2 days are ever the same in the mountains. Everything changes, the weather, the avalanche hazards. Not everything is really perfectly safeguarded. The mountains are an uncertain place. So it's a fine line, but I think when you can trust somebody and you do push them to a higher level, it's really rewarding. Ultimately, it's not a question of if any accident's ever going to happen if you're doing a lot of mountain guiding, but it's when. The knowledge that we have a really strong partner in our insurance company is essential. I'm helping my clients achieve great things in the mountains, achieve their goals in the mountains, and that's what X Insurance does for me. They were there for us when we needed them. They're providing an opportunity for us to go out and guide mountain climbing and backcountry skiing in the beautiful Wasatch Range, and that's something that I wouldn't feel comfortable at all doing without a great insurance company behind us. I know that I can trust them and I can go forward with confidence.
Family first. That's just the way I look at it. And the family, my friends and employees are the ones that helped me get to what we are today. We are first responder, emergency roadside, major incidents, recovery incidents with the Highway Patrol, Department of Transportation, and our family and employees goes into a risk every day. There's no way that we can run a towing company without insurance. What I look for an insurance company is a company that can be partners with me and support when the unfortunate happens. Unfortunately, I did have a small incident last year. X Insurance got involved step by step, helped me how to get to it, pay the losses, make sure that I was secure, make sure that our equipment was correct, make sure that I was where I needed to be to go back to work. I didn't have to worry about nothing in my business because my insurance was handling the loss and it was right on top of the money. I can continue to worry about my business, worry about my staff, my family, and let the insurance do what they do best. As long as I stay in business, we will need insurance company.